The debate over whether Donald Trump is a human or a robot is one of the most captivating, bizarre, and frankly, mind-boggling discussions of our time. In a world filled with artificial intelligence, deep fakes, and advanced robotics, the lines between what is human and what is machine have become increasingly blurred. So when it comes to Donald Trump, a figure who has consistently defied conventional norms, surprised the world with his rise to power, and left a trail of controversy in his wake, it's not entirely out of the question to ponder the possibility. Is Trump truly human, or could he be a highly advanced robot programmed to disrupt the status quo? Let's start with the most obvious signs that have fueled this conspiracy theory. First, Trump's ability to dominate media coverage with seemingly programmed responses to any situation, regardless of how unprecedented or shocking it may be. His repetitive speech patterns, like the infamous phrases, "Make America Great Again," and fake news, often come across as if they're part of a preloaded algorithm. Much like a robot stuck on a loop, Trump is known for repeating the same points over and over, regardless of context or pushback. Critics have often remarked that his ability to ignore facts and continue with his preferred narrative, no matter how many times it's debunked, feels almost inhuman. Could it be that he's programmed to execute these repetitive behaviors, much like a robot following a predefined set of instructions? Then there's his uncanny resilience. Whether it's surviving political scandals, impeachment trials, or even a global pandemic, Trump has an almost mechanical ability to bounce back unscathed from the situations that would destroy the careers of most human politicians. His energy levels during his 2016 and 2020 campaigns were another point of fascination. How could someone in their 70s manage to hold multiple rallies in different states in a single day, flying from city to city with little sleep and barely showing signs of fatigue? For many, this seems superhuman, or perhaps robotic. Some have suggested that Trump's public persona is the result of a highly advanced artificial intelligence experiment, where he was programmed to disrupt political systems and introduce chaos as a form of testing the limits of democratic institutions. His unpredictability, which has been one of his defining characteristics, could be seen as evidence of a robot designed to constantly introduce new variables into the political arena, keeping opponents off balance and unable to formulate consistent strategies against him. Trump's Twitter activity before his account was banned also added fuel to this speculation. His tweets, often coming in rapid succession at odd hours of the night, sometimes seemed too frequent and too perfectly timed to be the work of a human being. Was this simply a man who never slept? Or was it the work of an AI-powered robot capable of maintaining 24/7 activity without needing rest, sleep, or sustenance? His emotional responses, or lack thereof in certain situations, have also raised eyebrows. Many observe that during crises or tragedies, Trump often appeared either detached or unable to offer the type of empathetic response expected from a leader. His sometimes erratic emotional reactions have left people questioning whether he processes emotions the same way a typical human does, or if, in fact, he's incapable of true emotional depth, much like a machine. On the flip side, Trump's most ardent supporters argue that his raw, unfiltered nature is exactly what proves he's human, that no robot could ever act with such genuine unpredictability and disregard for norms. But what if that very unpredictability is part of the program? What if Trump's creators designed him to mimic the impulsiveness of a human, knowing that true randomness is one of the hardest traits for AI to replicate? It's worth considering that the idea of a robotic Trump may not be as far-fetched as it sounds. After all, advances in AI and robotics have made it increasingly difficult to tell humans apart from machines. And if we've reached a point where a robot could pass as a human, would we even know? Trump's behavior could be interpreted as the perfect test case for this kind of technology, placing him in one of the world's most powerful positions and seeing how well he performs, how the public reacts, and how global leaders engage with him. Of course, there are other pieces of evidence that lean more into the realm of science fiction, but are still tantalizing to consider. Some conspiracy theorists have pointed to Trump's physical appearance, noting that his skin tone, often an unnatural shade of orange, might be an indicator of synthetic materials used to construct his outer form. His hair, which has been the subject of intense scrutiny for years, has also been cited as a possible giveaway. Could his unusual hair texture and style be the result of an effort to cover up mechanical components underneath? And what about his facial expressions? While Trump is known for his exaggerated gestures and sometimes cartoonish expressions, there are moments when his face seems oddly stiff or unnatural, as though his facial muscles aren't quite working in harmony with the rest of his body. This has led some to suggest that he might be experiencing glitches, similar to what you might see in a malfunctioning android. Additionally, let's consider Trump's business background. He has long been associated with real estate, entertainment, and branding. But what if there's a deeper, hidden connection to technology and robotics? Some speculate that his ties to powerful industries might have given him access to cutting-edge AI and robotic technologies, and that somewhere along the way, he either became involved in a top-secret project or perhaps even volunteered to be the subject of one. This theory becomes even more compelling when you consider his fascination with control, power, and legacy. Could Trump have sought out a way to ensure his lasting influence by merging with machine technology, essentially creating a robotic version of himself that could outlast the natural limitations of a human lifespan? If true, this would explain why Trump seems to defy aging in some respects. Yes, he's visibly older than he was in his younger days, but he's retained an unusual amount of energy and vitality for someone his age. Could it be that what we're seeing isn't the natural process of human aging, but rather the result of a robotic system slowly integrating with a human host, or perhaps even a full replacement? Then there are the more wild claims that Trump is part of a larger conspiracy involving alien technology. Some believe that Trump, along with other world leaders, may have been given access to advanced extraterrestrial technologies, which could include robotic enhancements. This theory, while far-fetched, has its roots in long-standing rumors about government contact with alien civilizations, with figures like Trump chosen as vessels for testing this technology in the public eye. As we delve deeper into this theory, we must also consider the implications for democracy. If Trump is indeed a robot, then what does this mean for the concept of free will? If he is programmed to behave in a certain way, to make certain decisions, and to follow a specific agenda, then how much of his presidency was truly his own doing? Could it be that behind the scenes, a group of scientists or technocrats were pulling the strings all along, using Trump as a puppet to manipulate global politics? This idea has profound implications, suggesting that the future of leadership could be in the hands of AI, and that Trump's presidency was merely the first experiment in a larger trend toward robotic governance. Of course, not everyone subscribes to the idea that Trump is a robot, but the theory itself is a reflection of the times we live in, where technology is advancing at an unprecedented rate and where the very nature of reality is constantly being called into question. Whether or not Trump is truly human or a robot, the fact that this question even exists speaks volumes about the state of our society, our politics, and our relationship with technology. In the end, whether Donald Trump is a human or a robot may never be definitively proven, but the mere possibility that such a theory could be entertained opens up a world of intriguing possibilities, not just about Trump himself, but about the future of humanity, technology, and the very nature of what it means to be alive. As artificial intelligence continues to evolve, the boundaries between human and machine will only become more blurred, and the Trump robot theory may be just the beginning of a new era of hybrid beings who challenge our understanding of life, consciousness, and power. So, is Donald Trump a human or a robot? The answer might not matter as much as the questions it forces us to ask about ourselves, our leaders, and the world we live in.